Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Hope all is well. We are living in extremely interesting times, and may Hashem bless us that we all can begin to increase in our service of Hashem and to continue to develop and expand our relationship with Hashem and to bring out an even deeper level. And this is very interesting because this relates to the topic to this idea that Hashem is wherever you let Him in. You know, just like if you're in a room, you're in a bedroom, that if the windows are closed, as soon as you open the window, the light will come in. It's automatic. There's no delay. There's no in between process that determines if the light will come in. It's an automatic result of opening the blinds of the window. So too, when we make a move to connect to Hashem, Hashem comes into our lives. When we motion ourselves towards Him, when we demonstrate an openness to Hashem in our to a relationship with Hashem in each and every one of our lives, Hashem moves towards us. Hashem is the most proper, to say the least, very polite, very friendly. If you push Him away, God forbid, so He moves back. Obviously, He's everywhere. He's completely involved in every moment, but I'm saying in a revealed way. When someone pushes Hashem away, God forbid, so Hashem becomes more hidden to them. And the more you welcome Hashem into your life, the more He comes towards you and reveals Himself. So when we meditate upon this idea, when we recognize this idea, we'll remember that it's really on us to accept upon us the days of Moshiach. That, about 30 years ago, the Rebbe already spoke about how we're living in the days of Mashiach, in the beginning phase of the days of Mashiach. That this is the last era. He said this 30 years ago. I'm not sure the exact date, but it was the last era of the last generation of exile, the first generation of the coming Mashiach. And this is we're many years later now. And they were saying how the Mashiach's already at the doorstep. The days of Mashiach is at the doorstep. Now all that's left is to accept the days of Mashiach. So what does this mean? It means that right now we are living in such an interesting era that at any moment Mashiach can appear. And Hashem is opening up the gates of heaven for us in the Torah. We have so much abundance, such a great abundance of literature, of Torah. Whether it's the Torah, the written Torah, the Talmud, and now it's all accessible. Now, of course, with Chassidus and the secrets, the Pnimius of Torah, especially now with in the past few hundred years, there's been an unbelievable revelation of the secrets of the Torah, the inner portion of the Torah, Chassidus, the Kabbalistic teachings, and that is a necessary component to the days of Mashiach. That is the Torah of Mashiach. It's the inner portion of the Torah. Of course, the Torah is one, but you have the Torah that relates to physicality, like the laws, and then you have the inner part of the Torah, which deals with all the mystical, the deep spiritual dimensions within all of the laws, and all of the inner secrets, the hidden part of the Torah. So there's such an abundance of all that in this generation. It's clear that we're living in interesting times, and we're approaching the days of Mashiach. So it's on us to accept upon us this Hashem's reign over us in a revealed way, in a way of joy. Actually, it's very difficult to be told you have to accept Hashem's reign over you. You have to do this. You have to do that. It's very hard to do that when you're in a negative state of mind because it doesn't click as well. So I heard a rabbi say, what's the deeper level? It's a much deeper level. It's to do it with joy, to do it with pleasure, to enjoy, that is how you truly make Hashem your king. That is how you truly accept Hashem's reign over you. Of course, the lower level is to accept Hashem's reign over you in a way of forcing yourself to do it. And that's necessary. I'm not saying that's not, that's the first step. That's, God bless, if only the whole world did such things. But there's an even deeper level to that. And that's when you find the pleasure, you tap into the pleasurable aspect of serving Hashem. And you do it with joy, and you do it in a pleasurable way that accepting Hashem's reign over you is a pleasurable thing. That's how you reveal an even deeper dimension to that. And how does that work? That Chassidus really helps this, learning the secrets of Torah, because it's very very profound, very potent teachings. Chassidus, the secrets of Torah are very potent. So when you learn them, it has an ability to activate not just the soul. The soul's always interested in Hashem, but it's able to get the body excited about Hashem as well. You ever notice when you learning a very geschmack, as we say in Yiddish, but it means a very pleasurable Torah piece of Torah, when you learn something, especially, whatever the story may be, even if it's, you're learning about Chassidus, or let's say you're learning an amazing story about Joseph and his brothers, or a story from the Torah, from the Bible. So your body is very interested as well. You don't have to force yourself to be captivated, to be interested. When something really taps into your neshama, when it hits you, when it's such a revealed sweetness in Torah and you feel it, you don't have to force yourself to be interested. You're automatically captivated with every fiber of your being. And when you're captivated in Torah matters, in spiritual matters, when you're captivated by Hashem, you're interested in Hashem, it's an interest, it's a captivation that is incomparable to any physical pleasure. It infinitely dwarfs any physical pleasure you can imagine. Because a physical pleasure, the body may enjoy it, but the body doesn't really actually enjoy it. It's only a partial enjoyment, and the soul is uninterested. So when a person's really involving himself in physicality, he feels very empty because he feels divided. On the one hand, he likes the instant gratification, but on the other hand, it only lasts a moment, and he feels himself lowering, and he feels an inner conflict within himself. But when a person taps into the level of Torah, and this is not just for Chassidus. Of course, Chassidus, it's more revealed, the inner secrets of Torah, it's more revealed, the Kabbalistic teachings. But a person could take that level of connection to Hashem when he learns these deep Torah secrets, and when he's learning any part of Torah, whether it's the laws, whether it's the stories from Chumash, whether it's the Gemara, all the details, the back, the Shakla V'Tarya, the back and forths, and all the commentary, whatever a person may be learning, when they have this mindset that they're able to easily activate through learning Chassidus, when they have that throughout their entire day, then they'll notice that this is the true pleasure, that it's no longer a battle to fulfill Hashem's will. The battle's been won. It's our, there's no longer there's what Hashem wants and there's what the body wants, and there's about, what if they could be aligned? What if my body wants exactly what my soul wants? And that's exactly what the days of Mashiach will be like. That there will what each and every one of us truly desire will be the will of Hashem. The whole point is Hashem tells us through the Torah, He teaches us what His will is, what He really wants from us. And we sometimes have a battle. Our bodies want certain things and our soul wants something else. So our whole point is to try to work, to work on ourselves, to serve Hashem, to learn Torah, and to refine ourselves, and to make our will Hashem's will. To make what Hashem wants, to make it what I want. So when I wake up in the morning and I want to put on tefillin, and I don't want to miss a day of tefillin, and it's really who I am, then I've made Hashem's will my will. Because Hashem's the one who told us to put tefillin on and not to miss out on putting on tefillin. So when we feel in our body and our heart gets nervous, I don't want to forget to put tefillin. When we feel nervous by that, then our body has been so refined that it's in tune with what Hashem wants. And when we're able to take this even the next level, it's truly the greatest pleasure of all. And the deeper part of this is that this is Hashem's greatest pleasure, when we fulfill His will, when we make ourselves interested in what He wants. Especially because naturally our bodies aren't interested at first glance in spiritual matters at first glance. But when we really teach our body, when we learn Chassidus, when we learn Torah, then our body realizes that it's actually infinitely more interested in Torah than it was in physicality in the first place. So when we do that, that causes Hashem an infinite, beyond infinite pleasure. It's Hashem's innermost pleasure when we fulfill His will. So when we're able to first of all learn the Chassidus, and it's such a deep, pleasurable matter, but then even deeper, we're able to recognize that it's about Hashem. As great as this pleasure is for me, it's an even greater pleasure it's causing Hashem, and I love Hashem more than I love myself. So so as great as this pleasure is, I receive an even greater pleasure from this, knowing that it causes my King, my Father in heaven pleasure, my Creator. So that's an even deeper level. So we're able, but doesn't mean we have to use all these levels of serving Hashem. Meaning, when we learn Torah, it's obviously very pleasurable because it's the wisdom of Hashem, and our body's very interested. It's the most mentally stimulating. On a basic level, it's the most mentally stimulating level. But even higher, it's extremely spiritually stimulating. Our soul gets excited, and our body gets excited, and we feel spiritually elevated, and we want to connect to Hashem even more. We feel a tremendous desire for Hashem and a thirst for even more and more and more. The more Torah you learn, the more you want, because it's beyond infinite. So, but then we could take that level and we could channel it and use it with an even higher level and use them together by recognizing that this is also causing Hashem pleasure, and it's as great as this pleasure is for me, the main thing, I'm not doing this to feel my own pleasure and to feel proud of myself and to feel accomplished. Of course, we want to accomplish. We want to have respect for ourselves and be proud of our accomplishments. But the main service is because Hashem wants it. My Father wants it, and I'm going to do what He wants. I was speaking to a friend, and we thought of the example like, it's like if your grandfather asks you to help him with something, you're not going to say, "Oh, I'm only going to do it if it makes me feel good about myself." No, you love your grandfather. You don't want him to be in pain. You want to help him. You immediately help him without even thinking about it. You're not thinking about your own stand where you're standing in your own life. Oh, if I help my grandfather, maybe I'll reach a high level. Maybe I'll be more honorable in the community. No, you just want to help your grandfather because you just want to do it. It's intrinsically, it's one with you. It's the right thing to do. It's truth. It's emes. It's your soul wants it. So how much more so for Hashem, who loves us even more than our grandfathers, and is even closer to each and every one of us than our grandfathers. How much more so when He tells us to do something, we should do it because Hashem knows what's right for us. And really, we'll see that by serving Hashem for His sake, because Hashem wants us to serve Him, then we'll that's where we really truly reach our truest pleasure. Because our truest pleasure, our neshama's truest, deepest, most desire is to serve Hashem. So when we reach His level and it's actually fully about Hashem, then it's actually about us as well, because our whole mission is to serve Hashem. And of course, that's why it's so beautiful. That's why learning the secrets of Torah, learning Chassidus is so powerful in this generation, especially in this generation, because it's able to get the body excited. When a person learns Chassidus, they'll notice they're captivated, their body feels intrigued, and proof of this is sometimes if a person's like hungry, or a person's in a not good mood, chas v'shalom, and they learn Chassidus, they could forget they're hungry, and they could forget they're in a bad mood, and their whole mindset is changed, because that's what's such a novelty, that's what's such a profound aspect to the Torah, is it's not just for the soul, it's especially also involved with the body. And that is how we can bring ourselves into the days of Mashiach right now, because it's clear that the world is in a very precious state the world is in right now, and we're very close to the revelation, the coming of Mashiach. We just have to recognize that it's within each and every one of ourselves that we have to accept it. We have to, and when we learn Torah and we feel that pleasure, whatever we may be learning, we feel a connection to Hashem. We can't underestimate Him. We can't say, it's just a little bit, He feels more. No, it's real. Okay, the only thing is it's small, and there's so much more potential to expand upon your relationship with Hashem, and don't be satisfied. But this moment is still beyond infinitely real, and Hashem's involved with you. Don't underestimate yourself. We have to let Hashem in. Just like you open the blinds of the window, automatically the light comes in. So too, how much more so when we motion ourselves towards Hashem, we open ourselves up to Hashem, He immediately comes to us with no hesitation. So may today be the day that this is open and revealed. Thank you, and may Hashem bless you.